Hello everyone, welcome back to Learn Economy. In this video, we will be discussing the John Robinson's model of economic growth, or this theory is also known as John Robinson's model of economic development. So, having said so, let's go to the video. Mrs. John Robinson actually has given her model of growth in her classic book, The Accumulation of Capital, in 1956. Okay, this book by John Robinson actually contains not only this theory of economic growth, but also it has many other ideas as well. She actually takes the problem of population growth in a developing economy, and what she does is that she analyzes the influence of population on the role of capital accumulation and growth of output in the economy. Coming to the fundamental proportions of the model, there are basically two fundamental proportions. The first says that capital accumulation or capital formation actually depends on the manner of distribution of income. The second proportion says that the rate at which labor is utilized in the economy depends upon the supply of capital and that of labor in the economy. Okay, as every other theory we have discussed, this theory too is not an exception with respect to the presence of assumptions. This theory too has got many assumptions. So moving to the assumptions, we can see that it is assumed that the labor and capital are the only productive factors in the economy, and this implies that the national output is the combined effort of these two factors of production. Okay, now it is assumed that there exists a closed economy. That means that there is no foreign trade, and the total wage bill is the product of the real wage and the number of workers. Okay, now the total income here is actually divided between capital and labor, because these are the only two factors of production, and the production is not affected by the technological changes, and it is assumed that there exists no technological progress and no role of technology in the economy. And total profit is a product of profit rate and the amount of capital reinvested or invested. The price level is assumed to be constant, and also the wage earners are assumed to spend all their wage income on consumption, while profit takers are considered to save their income and invest all their profit income. Capital and labor are considered to be combined in fixed proportions for a given level of output, and national income is the sum total of wage bill and total profit. Coming to the next assumption, you could see that there exists no scarcity of labor, and entrepreneurs can employ as much as labor as they want, and entrepreneurs consume nothing but they save and invest all their income. This is basically for capital formation, and if they have no profit, what happens is that there is no capital accumulation, and if they do not accumulate capital, what happens is that there won't be any profit and there won't be growth and development in the economy. Now coming to the open model, here you could see that in an open economy, the conditions for steady growth and conditions for rising capital accumulation is the basic essence of the model. And here, according to John Robinson, national income is the sum of the total wage bill and total profit. This is something that we have already discussed in the assumption. And total wage bill is the real wage rate multiplied by the number of workers in the economy, and total profit is the profit rate multiplied by the amount of capital used for production. Now coming to the production function of this relationship, you would see that Py is equal to Wn plus pi pk, where P is the average price level, Y is the net national income, W is the net money wage rate, N is the amount of labor employed, K is the amount of capital invested, and pi is the rate of profit. And this equation actually indicates that profit rate is a function of labor productivity and the real wage rate and capital labor ratio. Or in other words, you could see that the profit rate is capable of varying directly with the rate of net return to capital, and this is inversely related with the coefficient of capital intensity. Necessary condition for maximization here is that the first derivative must be 0. Now, the Keynesian income expenditure analysis shows that the net national and real income is the sum of the real consumption expenditure and net investment, which can be expressed as y equal to c plus I. This is something you already know. This is a basic equation used in macroeconomics. So labor spends their entire income and saves nothing. This is what is as per the assumptions. So the profit earning class makes that saving in the form of profit, and according to John Robinson, saving must be equal to total profit. And because we assume that they save, the capitalists save all their income, and the saving is in a given period is equal to the capital investment multiplied by the rate of profit. And in the above equation, actually this illustrates that the rate of profit or rate of capital or rate of growth of capital is capable of increasing if the net returns to capital rise in a greater proportion than the capital labor ratio, and vice versa. Or you could say that the lower rate of profit would always affect the supply of capital adversely, which in turn widens the gap between the supply of labor and supply of capital. The main feature of this model is that the rate of growth of capital is actually dependent upon the profit rate. Now, moving to the closed model, you can see that in a closed economy, you know that the economy, when the economy is closed, it doesn't have any relation with the other nations. Here the concept of golden age and platinum age are to be discussed, and in simple words, golden age is a situation, and this is a situation of smooth steady growth with full employment arising out of the equality of desired and possible rate of capital accumulation, and this has been designated by John Robinson as the golden age equilibrium. And in the case here, if there is an increase in the labor supply, this is not accompanied by the proportional increase in capital supply, and this will cause unemployment in the economy. To achieve full employment, what is full employment of labor and growth? What is needed is that the growth rate of population must be equal to growth rate of capital. That is, delta n by n should be equal to delta k by k. When the rate of growth of labor and capital are equal to each other, then there is full utilization of capital in the economy, and here such a switch is on, called the golden age. The existence of golden age is considered to be an indicator of full employment level, and this concept golden age, it implies that there must be equality in the actual warranted and natural growth rate. In short, Mrs. Robinson's words, you can see that when there exists technological progress, when it is neutral and proceeding steady without any change in the time pattern of production, the competitive market works freely, population grows at a steady growth rate, and capital accumulation goes on fast enough to supply productive capacity for all available labor. The rate of profit tends to be constant, and the level of real wages would increase per unit of output or per output head. Then you could see that there is no interaction in the internal contradiction in the system. The conditions such as golden age and all, this is applicable to golden age as well, and this is explained in this figure. Here in the figure you could see that the capital output ratio or the capital labor ratio is illustrated along the positive direction of the x-axis, and the wage labor ratio is shown along the y-axis, and the growth rate of labor on negative side of the x-axis. Okay, and the production function is represented as OP. Each point on the curve shows the proportion in which capital and labor are combined to produce a particular level of output. Tangent ND, it actually touches the curve OP at point A and intersect Y at W. And at point A, what happens is that the capital labor ratio is OC, the productivity of labor is OD, and out of that, OW is the wage rate. The surplus amount, DW, is rate of return to capital, and point A shows the position of equilibrium because the slope of tangent ND and slope of production curve OP is the same, and it can be said that at point A what happens is that growth rate of capital, that is delta K by K, is equal to the growth rate of labor, that is delta N by N. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe this channel for more videos.